Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching. Welcome to another edition of Crime Time with DutyRon, a retired New York City police detective with 20 plus years of law enforcement. And guys, if you like all things true crime related from a police perspective, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I think it's somewhere over here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon when I go live or upload another video. Guys, tonight we are going to talk. Here it is nighttime because it's past 6 p.m. We're going to talk about the Gabby Petito case, the Orrin and Orson West case out of California City and Bakersfield, the Summer Wells case. We're going to talk about 3 cases in one live stream. We normally don't do that, but I figured why not cover and do a recap of each one of these cases because we have been covering it, and Equusearch Midwest has helped out in 2 out of these 3 cases. So I want to just say a special thank you to my Patreon supporters, the channel members, the folks who subscribe to this channel, and my moderators. Number 5 on the thank you list is the replay viewers. I can't thank you guys enough, and I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and sharing your thoughts, your opinions, and all of your concerns here on Crime Time with DutyRon. Make sure you subscribe and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all one word, DutyRon. I have a Facebook, YouTube video share group, and also a police and crime chat group. Over there, you can continue the conversation on all of these cases we mentioned here today and some of my other cases that we have covered in the past. So let's get right into it. Gabby Petito reported missing on September 11th, 2021 by her parents in Blue Point, Long Island. She's a 22-year-old, went out on a camping excursion, cross-country van life trip with her fiance, Brian Laundrie. They set out on July 2nd, 2021. And the rest we know is history. Right now, there's a manhunt for Dirty Brian, and we are looking to get closure for this criminal side of the case. There's so many moving parts, but let me talk about what's going on currently. His sister says that she never saw Brian after certain dates, and we're going to listen to what the attorney has to say. We're going to hear about what some of the news reporting from our great friend at WFLA has said. Especially want to say hello to Diane B and all of my friends who are joining in here. Dawn Marie and all the mods. I greatly appreciate you, Steve. Boxing MMA all the way from Ireland. Deco Paint and Tea, and all the great ones in here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to the new subscribers as well. But let's get right into it and let's listen to what is the latest on Gabby Petito.
He continues. His sister, Cassie Laundrie, saw him not once, but twice, including being with him here at the Fort DeSoto campground in early September after Brian returned from his cross-country trip with Gabby Petito, or actually without Gabby Petito, even though she told the media that she hadn't seen him after he came back to Florida. Hey there, folks. JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. Great to have Josh Benson here with us back here live on stream, as well as Aid on Your Side investigator Masa Saidi. Masa, you just spoke with Stephen Bertolino via text message, the attorney for Brian Laundrie. What'd you find out?
So I think it's important to start with what the sister had told GMA during an interview on September 17th. And she had an exclusive interview with GMA, and Cassie Laundrie, Brian Laundrie's sister, said that, quote, "We haven't been able to talk with him. I wish I could talk with him." And then she said that she's cooperated in every way that she can, but she called him a wonderful uncle. So again, we have the sister on September 17th saying that she has not spoken to Brian Laundrie, according to reporting from ABC. And I'm going to open up my text messages on my phone. So obviously the question is, was she telling the truth? Is the family telling the truth about their interactions? And the attorney, all I said was, "Good afternoon." And the attorney shot me that text because he knew what this was about. Like, I just said hi, and then boom.
Probably rapid fire right down the text chain. Yeah,
exactly. And he said, quote, "Cassie saw her brother Brian on September 1st. That's when Brian got back to Northport without Gabby, when he stopped by her home, and again on September 6th at Fort DeSoto Park. Law enforcement agencies
Let me just stop this here just to let you guys know. My feeling is I don't believe anything coming out of the Laundrie family, including his sister. I don't believe the attorney. I don't believe anything that they're saying because they've been nothing but evasive from the get-go. By a show of hands in the chat, who's on board with that? And it doesn't need to be everybody on board. I respect and understand everybody's opinion, but they are being judged on face value, and they haven't been forthright and forthcoming on any information. So I just want to see quickly a pool from the crowd here, what everybody thinks. Number one, if you agree. Number two, if you feel they are full of hogwash.
Are well aware of these dates, says the attorney. Any prior communication by Cassie that does not reflect these dates is simply a difference of relating an answer to a question misinterpreted by Cassie or poorly posed by the inquirer. So basically, yeah.
So let me hop in here. So what Stephen Bertolino, the attorney, is saying here is that Cassie Laundrie misinterpreted the question in that ABC interview and didn't understand that question correctly.
Bullshit.
Brian, since he returned home from that cross-country trip, returned home to Florida. That's what people are talking about online right now.
She said, I haven't been able to talk to him. I wish I could talk to him. And I think that's where the contradiction comes in. And this is why we're talking about this now, because if in the event that she's answered it that way and hasn't seen him, but then all of a sudden we can prove now that she saw him on the 1st and eventually at the park on the 6th. We have records from Pinellas County putting the family there, or at least Roberta reservation and camping trip there, the 6th through the 7th, according to the attorney. So it's all about putting the timeline together now and trying to level up on what things are true and what things aren't. And when you look at this, that's why this is such a big development today, in that the sister, according to the attorney, saw him on the 1st and then on the 6th as well.
I'll just say this, as far as on behalf of our viewers here on social media, part of my job here is, of course, to report what people are saying out there. There were already a sizable, overwhelming, let's just say, amount of people out there that just did not believe Brian Laundrie's parents, or doesn't believe Brian Laundrie's parents here, as far as what has been coming out from Stephen Bertolino, the attorney. And this doesn't help that. This doesn't.
Yeah, I agreed with JB, but I would say this. In the beginning, I would give the parents and the sister and his side of the family the benefit of the doubt if they had come forward and been forthright and forthcoming. When the son, and my example that I could give to you is that if their son came home on September 1st, which I think they have evidence that he did come home on September 1st, why would you not ask him, where is your girlfriend / fiance? She's been living here for 2.5 years. Would you think that his mom would be somewhat attached to this young lady? She's been living in under her roof in her home, and his father should be treating her like a second daughter. If they're living there for 2.5 years, they allowed him to lay his head down on the bed for over 10 days, and even went out on a gosh darn camping trip. I just don't get it. It just doesn't add up.
Doesn't help the public view here of the Laundrie family. Masa, we only have another few more minutes. We know that we got to get you going here as far as filing a report for our newscast here tonight on WFLA News Channel 8, your NBC station here in Tampa, Florida. But what development as far as the development, what does this mean now going forward, and how does this impact the search for Brian Laundrie?
Well, so again, the FBI is leading the search here, and the FBI is not telling us anything. So we have no information at this point. We're unable to confirm any information from law enforcement. The Laundrie family attorney, again, they're saying that law enforcement agencies are well aware of these dates. They know that, Cassie saw her brother because Brian stopped by her brother's house on September 1st. Law enforcement is aware of the fact that the family was all at Fort DeSoto. What impact does this have on the investigation? Well, at last check, my understanding was that the Laundrie family was not discussing certain details with law enforcement. I haven't heard that has changed. So I think this is just what people are looking at as they try to determine, this family, how credible they are, what information they're putting out there, and, take it for what it is.
What do you think, Josh?
Sorry, I was reading another thing here.
No, it's okay.
No. I look, and I'm the question I ask myself now is if we can put the family pretty much at the campground on the 6th, and he's been back on the 1st without Gabby. That's kind of standing out to me as they're having a family camp camping trip here after she's not there. He came home alone. And to me, that's just doesn't feel right.
Okay, I just said that just moments before this. Listen, nobody on the face of this earth that has just a stitch of common sense would say that that sounds right. You don't go on a family camping trip when somebody who has been living and has been part of your family, sharing dinners, breaking bread in the back, in the pool, sharing the living quarters. That's not a compound that they live in. It's not a huge home. It's not a small home. It's a medium-sized home. I think we can all agree that with Gabby living there for 2.5 years or so, that they had to have had close contact with her. So to go out and go on a family camping trip, which is just bullcrap. It's not a camping trip. It was a trip for them to decide on a game plan, in my eyes. That was not a family camping trip. That was a trip to set up a exit plan for Dirty Brian Laundrie. And that's my take of it. I take it as a let's get together and let's think about this and let's think of how we can slip you away. And that's what this was. This was no family camping trip. And it's just the same way when everyone alludes to that he's a person of interest, Brian Laundrie. He's a freaking suspect. He is a suspect, and he should be hogtied and shackled and brought in. Now, I feel that the sister is going to be, we're going to hear in the next couple of days, perhaps some type of federal paperwork being drawn up before a judge. And I think the sister might be brought in and probably used as a little bit of a pawn in this to get Dirty Laundrie, if he's alive, to come in and save the day. If they take his sister in and arrest him because of on a technicality or some type of law loophole, I think that it may be a good chance that it could lure in and bring the dirty catfish in from the bottom feeder, if you will. That's just my thoughts on it. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments section.
What are they talking about on this camping trip? What's the discussion at this camp? And to me, that's just doesn't feel right. What are they talking about on this camping trip? What's the discussion at this camping spot? That's just kind of replaying in my mind. And I know a lot of viewers that are watching are asking the same question. It's just really bizarre to me that would transpire here. Now we know, based on attorney information and records, that they were there.
We have a lot of questions and comments coming in here. You can use hashtag #HeyMasa, hashtag #HeyJosh, hashtag #HeyJB. Actually, Masa, do you have to get going here, or can you stay with us for another 5 more minutes? It's up to you. I know you have a lot on your plate today.
I can stay just for 5 more minutes, JB.
Okay, so we'll stay another 5 more minutes here with Masa. Josh and I are going to be here live for a little bit longer.
That sounds like me begging Barbara Butcher to stay a little extra longer. And anybody on the live stream when we had Barbara Butcher talking about the autopsy procedure a couple of nights ago, I don't know, 4 or 5 nights ago, we had Barbara Butcher on. That sounded like me. Hey, could you stay a couple more minutes? JB, good man, trying to keep her, keeping her there. Let's let the rest of this play, and then we're going to move on to Orrin and Orson West, and we're going to move on to these 2 other cases that we're going to talk about. I only have a short period of time because at 7:30, Red, White, and Bethune is going to be live. That's my good friend Jen and her husband Kyle. They're going to be live, and I'm going to be going over there. So as soon as we're done here, we're going to all raid Red, White, and Bethune. So all of us that are left over towards the end of this show, we're going to all segue over straight at 7:30 p.m. over to their show, and we're going to shower them with love. So let's let the rest of this play, and we'll head on over to Orrin and Orson West.
Than that here, but the most liked comment here that I've seen so far on social media, and again, you can use any of the hashtags here on your screen, and we can animate your comments here on screen using hashtag #HeyJB, hashtag #HeyJosh, or hashtag #HeyMasa. But the most liked comment didn't have a hashtag, so I can't animate it here, but it said, "So Cassie misunderstood the most basic, simple question in the world." And so Stephen Bertolino saying that Cassie Laundrie misinterpreted the question. I mean, her exact quote here we have for you on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. And if you guys have it here in front of you,
yeah,
here it is. "I haven't been able to talk to him. I wish I could talk to him. I've cooperated in every way that I can. I wish I had information, or I would give more." Now, Stephen Bertolino is saying
bullshit. I'm sorry for the ladies, the gents who don't like the cursing. I say bull. I'll use the bleep machine. All right. Bull. And that's a long bull. Thank you.
That she misinterpreted the question with that response, but that's pretty black and white. Is it not, Masa?
I can argue that it's possibly not. So she said,
Okay.
we haven't been able to talk with him. I wish I could talk with him. So she's saying talk with him, talk about what happened, talk about
Could be misconstrued different ways.
Talk. And so the text message says that Cassie saw her brother. The attorney says that she saw her brother when he stopped by the home. And again, she saw him at Fort DeSoto. It doesn't say that they talked about.
I got to say this. I haven't even seen this attorney, and I love Joe Murray. He's a criminal defense attorney. But the attorney for the laundry, I don't like him, and I never even saw his face. So he can go himself. That's how I feel.
The incident. So she didn't say, I haven't seen him. From what I pulled from GMA's website and from what I saw that they put out there, the sister didn't say, I haven't seen him. She said, we haven't been able to talk with him. I wish I could talk with him. Those were the words that they put out there. So based on just those words.
But if you're all at a campground, I mean, that comes down to the question. If you're all at the campground together, are you not talking to each other? That's what a lot of people want to know.
All right, let's start.
And we're just peeling apart the layers as Masa is doing here to look at the explanation from the attorney.
Yeah.
Look at the, obviously, and analyze the interview.
All right, that's enough. I can't listen to that anymore. I want to say thank you to Mimi Viz. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you to Ron Daniels for the super chat. Mimi Viz, great friend of the DutyRon Crime Time community and a generous supporter to the Orrin and Orson West project. That's what we're going to be getting on to next. But let me just say this before we continue to go on. I want to just explain to you guys this. The wheels of justice in this and all these cases take a certain amount of time for things to go on. It makes us frustrated because we want answers and we want them now. We wanted answers yesterday, right? But think about all the other cases that we cover and people want the same answers. And everybody is chomping at the bit because we want to get some closure. We want to find out what the heck happened. And we want, more importantly, this scumbag, this dirty laundry guy, and his entire family, because I feel like they really did harbor a fugitive here. And I think that we will see, I feel strongly that we will be seeing charges coming against his family, because here in America, you cannot harbor a fugitive. And if you knowingly do that, you're going to be brought to justice. And especially if the feds are coming after you. If the feds are coming after you, then you could just bet your bottom dollar that they're coming with all the might of the federal government. We're going to segue over to the next case, which is Orrin and Orson West. These are two boys that were reported missing on December 21st of 2020. They were reported by their parents missing from the backyard in California City. Now, you might remember this case because it's been all over the national news. It's been covered by so many news sources. Everywhere you saw, when you opened up the news, you opened up, Google searches and things of that nature, was on Court TV. I've seen them on Dr. Phil. I've seen them highlighted and put out there. They were 3 and 4 years old at the time, now 4 and 5 years old. Sincere and classic. We feel that they went missing from Bakersfield, California. I'm going to just play a bit of media quickly before I enter I have some guests joining on the show with me, but I'm going to play just a little bit of media from Orrin and Orson West so the audience here can get an idea of what we're talking about. Just let me let it queue up for 2 seconds because it's, of course, in DutyRon fashion and style. It's giving me a hard time, but I got it going. So here we go, guys.
Leo Stallworth. 9-month search for two brothers, little boys. Their names are Orrin and Orson West. They're just 3 and 4 years old. They're brothers. They disappeared a few days before last Christmas.
Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth talked with one of the investigators on the case about where things stand in the quest to find them.
Orson and Orrin West missing for 9 months now. Their adoptive parents maintain the brothers disappeared from the backyard of their California City home 4 days shy of Christmas Day last year. Police undergoing multiple massive searches for the boys, yet so far nothing. Frustrating for detectives diligently working the case, trying to follow up on possible credible tips while weeding out outlandish conspiracies.
We've heard it all. We've heard alien abduction, everything that you can think of.
Bakersfield Police Sergeant Robert Pear says detectives conducted a search for the boys today, but he won't provide details.
This is a hard one, Leo. It's one that we don't want to mess up. You have 2 missing kids and they're gone, and you have to figure out what happened to them. The stakes are too high.
Sergeant Pear says they are keeping this case close to the vest. This despite being accused of not.
Now, we hear this close to the vest comment so many times on so many different cases. It actually comes up in every case. And this word actually pisses people off because they're like, why do you got to keep it close to the vest? Why don't you tell us about it? Well, when you do tell people about it, it gives and tips off the bad people, but the very people that they're trying to hunt down. If you keep it not close to the vest and you expose all your cards, now you give the person a chance to have a defense or a way out or a way to evade prosecution or evade capture. So keeping it close to the vest is a statement that we hear, and the parents and the families of these folks, it makes them ill because they don't want to hear that. They want to hear everything that's going on, but it would ruin it. So I'm going to have 2 guests joining me from Bakersfield, California. Roe Roe, who is a biological family member to one of these boys, and we're going to have her speak about her thoughts on this case, and Jennifer Knoble, who has contributed tremendously as a contributor, a parent who loves her family and these boys. And these are our boys. And I'm going to have them join me in 2 seconds as soon as this is finished. So I'm going to have family and someone who is very close. As a matter of fact, they call me Uncle DutyRon. So we're going to have them join us, and we're going to talk about the boys. So let the rest of this play.
Working hard enough to find the boys because they are African American.
The people working on this and the people that are invested in this, that's something that never even factors into it. And it's hurtful on a personal level, right? Nobody likes to be accused of that. But I think the product of the work, when the truth comes to light, it's going to speak for itself.
We deserve to know what happened to those babies.
The community reaching out to Eyewitness News for.
I just want to say something.
Little boys, their names are boys. Their names are.
Hold on a second. I just screwed that up.
Hard enough to find the boys because they are.
I just want to say something. That woman that was on there, and you guys can correct me when you come on, Jennifer and Roe Roe. I believe that is the neighbor who lives directly behind the residents in California City. I believe that is a woman who lives directly behind or directly across. But my memory serves me correct. She lives directly behind. Let's let the rest of this play. We're almost done.
African American.
The people working on this and the people that are invested in this, that's something that never even factors into it. And it's hurtful on a personal level, right? Nobody likes to be accused of that. But I think the product of the work, when the truth comes to light, it's going to speak for itself.
We deserve to know what happened to those babies.
The community reaching out to Eyewitness News for a follow-up story on the mysterious disappearance, and we are doing just that.
It's sad. It's heartbreaking. And our whole community has been out searching for them, and there's no trace of them.
Robin Plants lives directly behind.
Yeah, so she does live directly behind. This is a look at the backyard. The boys were allegedly playing with chalk on that patio that you're looking at right now. And I think it's important, the folks that are invested in Summer Wells and in Gabby Petito, this is a very, very similar case because it involves missing person. It doesn't matter if it's a 22-year-old girl, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-year-old girl, and it doesn't matter if it's 2, 3, and 3 and 4-year-old, now 4 and 5-year-old boys. It's human beings, little and big, that go missing, and we need to make attention. We need to make noise. We need people to understand that all of these cases are equally as important and deserve equally as much attention. And that's why I want to bring on Jennifer Knoble and Roe Roe. These Roe Roe is biological family. She's been close with me on this case, close with a lot of people, and I'm going to bring them on right now. Roe Roe is joining probably from somewhere remote. Hey, how are you, Roe? Love and respect from New York City. You're muted. Your mic is muted.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Hi, Roe Roe. How are you, dear?
I'm blessed, man. Just, day by day.
Yes, yes.
Praying for the boys.
And you're wearing the Orrin and Orson Sincere and Classic mask. Can you get close so that my viewers can see that? So those are the boys, and it says, "Where are the boys?" Someone knows something. And there's the pictures of the two beautiful boys. They're now 4 and 5 years old. We had some activity with Equusearch in the area in the past, some recent activity. I know you're happy about that. I'm thrilled about it. We worked tirelessly to bring Equusearch to come out and do some searching for our boys. And it is a start. And it's a start that's a good start. We want to eliminate where they aren't. And that's
Right.
that's something that I think helped to accomplish. And
Right.
when I was able to call you yesterday and give you that information and give you the news, it brought great joy to me to know that we were able to fight together to get somebody to come out and push the Bakersfield Police Department to let us come and look and search for them. So I'm just so happy and I'm thrilled that you're here. Any words that you have for the audience, for some of the folks that are out there?
I just want to tell all your supporters who's been, following the case, supporting the boys, praying for the boys, helping you keep the billboards up out here. I just want to tell y'all thank you so much because it means a lot to us. Without y'all, it's like it would be impossible to keep their faces out here. And I just want to thank you, DutyRon, for, really covering the story because, they don't get that much media, and it's thanks to you guys, they're out there, their faces are out there and the awareness is out there and you guys are keeping their faces alive and their story alive. And I just want to thank your supporters, because they really are, doing what humanity is about.
Yes, it's all about the heart, and we're talking about human beings here. It doesn't matter black, white, Hispanic, color. It doesn't matter. In our eyes, these are our boys, and we just want to find a resolution, and we want to find out what happened to them. If you could, please, because everybody that knows you, that a lot of people here do know you, but I have a lot of new subscribers. Just explain to the audience briefly, your relation with this case and just where you stand with the family, so this way folks know who you are and what you're about.
Okay, I'm the bio cousin to one of the bio fathers, which is Classic's dad, which is Orson. And but my cousin, he was there when Sincere was born before he got took, so those are both my cousins, So we're just out here just praying and keeping our hope alive, and we just want to find the boys and bring them home, and get justice.
And I want to tell the viewers, Roe Roe and her sister and her mom and some of the family, some of the people behind the scenes, they've been out there night and day with posters of these boys, pictures of the boys. And we have the digital billboard. There's an actual canvas that's permanent there. I want to add on my next guest. She is she's no slouch. She is a housewife. She's a mother. She's a community resident of Bakersfield, California. She's the one who got me started with the digital billboards. Jennifer Knoble, a lot of people in the chat know her, but a lot do not. She started the very first digital billboard on Highway 99 for Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic. She put out $2,000 of her own dollars. She's been putting up fundage and doing whatever she could or whatever she can for the boys with birthday parties, getting halls. And this is a superwoman. If there was a cape that we could put on this lady, we would put it on her. And she's beautiful. I love her. Jennifer, thank you for joining. Can you hear me? That was a hell of an intro. I hope you heard it.
Thanks for having me. Hi, Roe Roe. Hi,
Yeah.
Ron.
All right. So I was
Hi.
just,
I did.
I was just,
Thank you.
all right. So I was just telling the audience how great
Can you
you
hear
are.
me?
And yes, I can hear you. So I was just telling the audience how great you are and how much you've been involved with Sincere and Classic and Orrin and Orson West with getting things done from your end. You know, you're not necessarily able to give searching and going out and kicking dust and dirt around, but you are getting things done. You're a businesswoman and you know a lot of people. You got connections there, so you're helping tremendously. Roe Roe, you want to talk about a little bit of what the Superwoman does for you? Your pause, your mic.
I know. Sorry about that. Jennifer, the day I met her, it was a blessing to, cross her path. She's been going hard for the boys since she's heard the story. And I just want to thank you, Jen, for everything that you've done and that you're doing to this day. You are a blessing to the boys for sure. Thank you for helping us with the billboards. Thank you for helping us with everything else that goes on behind the scenes. And without people like you, I mean, like I said, this wouldn't be possible.
Thank
And we
you, Roe
love
Roe.
you.
I appreciate that. It's been a blessing to meet you as well, and meet your family and meet DutyRon along the way. And I do want to make a correction from the intro. It was beautiful, but I did not start the one on 99. I can't take credit for that. You did, Roe Roe. You started that one. And then I did the two on Mohawk Street that were
I'm
going
old.
one.
I'm old. I'm
I
old. I'm
know. I
57
just
years
try to
old.
help. I'm just trying to say I'm not going to take credit where it's not due. So
I
that's the
got
one
you.
that
I got you.
she got funds together to get 3 going, and the 99 was one of the ones, and then you saw it. So anyway, nonetheless, it's all important, and I will not take credit for any of what I've done along the way by myself, because I have to tell you, I've become great friends with Keisha Stevenson, and she makes the masks that and the shirts that Roe Roe has on, and she's been a huge supporter along the way, and we've become really great friends, a small group of us girls, and I have a lot of respect for her, and what she does behind the scenes as well.
Yes.
Right. Hey, Roro, I just want to kill some of the comments. Here's one. She's alone. Why with the mask on? I never asked you the question. I know she likes to wear the mask because it shows the boys off, and she knows that this is, kind of putting them out there in the spotlight. So I think
Or
the reason you could correct me. I think she wears it because she wants everybody to see it, and plus we're still under COVID-19 regulations as well. So, am I right on that, or was I wrong?
No, you're correct. I wear the mask every time I go on the news or just anywhere, because as I'm speaking, at least this right here, they're seeing it. And there are people around, so they come in and out, but because they're watching football in the house. I just came outside, but that's not the reason I wear the mask. I wear the mask so that everybody could see it, and this is like another way of spreading the awareness while I'm able to talk and just get their faces out there. I wear the mask everywhere, even to stores that don't have the signs up. I mean, I wear it everywhere just so. I mean, this is like a walking billboard right here, So.
Absolutely. I'm 100% on board with that. I personally never asked you that question because I knew in my mind why you were
Yeah.
doing it. I've seen your beautiful face. You show yourself at the birthday parties, and everybody is seeing your beauty. There she is. There's my girl. Yeah. But again, I have a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new folks who were just curious, like, hey, why is she? If she's by herself, why is she wearing it?
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on the ground there in Bakersfield. I know you're in contact with the Bakersfield PD. I know that I represent Equusearch Midwest as the law enforcement liaison. I've had communication with the Bakersfield PD on 2 different cases, not just the boys, but the Bakersfield 3. Anything that you have to report maybe on your end for the people that are watching? These boys are now missing over 9 months. We're going into the holidays, and when we come to Christmas time, it's going to be a year. Any conversation? Has there been any sightings of Trezell and Jacqueline West? Has anybody seen these people? How do they just slip off into the night and you never see them? I'm just curious, and I know my fans and all the folks that are watching, These two parents reported them missing December 21st, 2020, and then poof. I've never seen one news camera in their face like we saw with Chad Daybell and Lori Daybell Vallow. They went to freaking Hawaii and they had a news crew that followed them. How come
Wow.
nobody sees these people? Where the hell are they?
They're pretty, secretive and silent, and but they have been seen in Cal City, probably about a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. They've been at the house a few times. Somebody sent me some, pictures of what they're in and things like that. So they have been to the Cal City recently, and I mean, I don't. It's hard to keep up with them. It really is. I mean,
I just say, as a detective myself, as a retired detective, I'm like, how come they're not dragged in and re-questioned? Like,
exactly.
they report the boys missing and then get called in for questioning, and then all of a sudden now there's nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
we could be unbeknownst. We could not know. They could have brought them in for questioning. They could have obtained an attorney. I was never even able to figure out if they hired an attorney, because I asked the detectives, "Hey, are these guys lawyered up?" And they wouldn't answer. They wouldn't answer the question. I even asked John Walker, California City police chief, and he couldn't answer that. He couldn't answer it.
Yeah, I heard they got an attorney from the beginning. So, and honestly, like, I mean, for them not to, when they got interviewed or questioned in the beginning, they were together. They never was separated, because if they would have separated them in the beginning, they really would have probably told different stories, But,
Right.
the case was mishandled in the beginning. I pray that they did question them again, hopefully. And maybe, when I talked to the detective on the 21st, the 9 months mark, he sounded frustrated, because I told him, I said, we're just frustrated, like we don't know nothing, like there's nothing. And that's when he told me about the Equusearch, that they will be coming out. And so that was a different conversation we had. And he just told me that, just he's frustrated, because after I said I was frustrated, he said me too. He said, I mean, I think they are really now. I really believe that they are onto something.
Right.
They just can't tell us, which I don't mind, because it's not about me. It's not about none of us. It's about the boys, and whatever it's gonna do to get answers and find them. I mean, I'm willing to let them keep it to close to their chest, their vest.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell everybody, that's listening here. I have been in close contact with the lead detectives, with the bosses, the supervisors in Bakersfield. I called them on behalf of Equusearch, so I'm not calling them to badger them as a civilian wanting to know what happened to the case. I wanted to offer services to search for the boys. So in the process of that communication, there was another detective sergeant who had another case that wanted us to come and do some work for them, and I had to do kind of a barter trade system with them. I sort of said to him, if we come there, we need to search for our boys. And as soon as I said that, he knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said, you need to put us in contact with the lead detectives, with the folks. And he said, don't worry about the permission. I'm getting you the permission. And that to me was a victory. I did a victory dance. And I immediately called up you and Jennifer, and I told you, hey, listen, I'm working on this, but I don't know how long it's going to take. And I want to say thank you to Roe Roe and Jen for keeping it quiet, to keeping this down on the down low. It wasn't that we were trying to be sneaky about it. What we were trying to do is trying to keep it quiet so we can get what we want accomplished.
Exactly.
And I feel that we did get that done, and it was it was one step to go forward, and that we'll have many more steps to go to find the boys. But I'm proud that we have such great, generous donors. I was able to grab a few of the folks who have donated in the past, and I've leaned on them very hard, and they came forward once I found out the billboards were expiring. and came up with that $1,000. Because just the other day, we were able to send another 1,000 to Lamar Advertising and get that billboard going. It's important that their faces get out there. And I know a lot of people said to me in the during the course of this is, hey, DutyRon, listen, I think it's a waste of money. I think it's a waste of time. But you know, and I know that the more people that see their faces on a regular basis, that could break somebody down that knows just a little bit of information. And they could say, you know what, I keep seeing these boys' faces. I feel so horrible. Let me come by and drop, or let me call the witness line and drop a tip.
Amen to that.
And again, if it wasn't for Jennifer, I would have never got on board with I wouldn't have actually known about it. I saw it on a news report, and I said, "Hey, Jennifer's doing this. Let's get it going." So that's where you come into play, Jen, as the hero in my book. I'm going to unmute you so you can chat it up. I'm not sure if she's hearing us, but it seems like she's having a hard time hearing us. But she's drinking away. She's having a nice beverage. What is that there, Jen? What do you got? She's delayed. It doesn't seem like she's got a good connection. So you know that she basically was the catalyst to getting me going, you know. It was, for me, it was just amazing to see that this woman was doing that, you know, and she took her time and her money. It was just unbelievable. I was so taken back by what she did. I want to just say quickly thank you to Anthony at Tier Talk. Anthony Ganji sends in a $20 super chat and says, another great show, DutyRon. Keep making a difference. People are listening. Your community is growing, as so is your positive influence. Thank God for you, and thank God for your wonderful community. He is a corrections officer. He's actually a corrections executive, and he's been on my show. He's been a guest. He has his own YouTube show called Tier Talk podcast. So everybody go check that out. He supports the boys. He supports all of the cases that I cover, and he's a great friend. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you for that. Joe Murray, as you know, is the criminal defense attorney, and he is there in the chat. So thank you, Joe Murray. Jennifer, I think, are you back, Jen? We were saying nice things about you, and you were just drinking your adult beverage or whatever you were
drinking my core water.
Is that vodka, or is that you using that core water bottle just to cover the vodka that you're drinking right now?
No, it is water.
I know. I'm just teasing. So Jen, what made you get started with the billboards? Tell the audience that's watching, how did you get involved in this? Just talk briefly about that.
Oh gosh, literally, it was just I had seen a couple of things on the news, and I just didn't see how they were going to have enough help in trying to. What had happened was Roe had started a GoFundMe, and I saw her and Keisha on the news, and talking about how they were trying to get up to 3 different ones, and they were still trying to raise money for it. And these kids had been missing already for I think a couple of weeks at the time that I saw it. I'm not exactly sure. And when I saw it, it just kind of that, for whatever reason, seeing those two on there and seeing it a few different times just really grabbed me and caught me. I'm a mom of 3 kids, and I don't want to be in their shoes. I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine. All I know is that by advocacy and spreading the awareness and trying to help them put it out there, that every single time that it's talked about, it's helping in some way, shape, or form. And then as we went on to meet and have conversations and things like that, whether it's on the down low or whether it's out there, public knowledge or whatever, it's just very enlightening as a mom.
Right.
It's just difficult. I've always been in wanting to learn about true crime and learn about things like that. But when it comes to kidnapping and stuff like that, I've always had that fear. And so when I saw those 2 boys, it wasn't just one, and not that it's okay that it would just be one, but there was 2 at the same time, the same night, and they're so little. And I'm like, how how does that happen? And it just got me wanting to look at everything, all the details, different YouTubers I started learning about, and watching different things that they follow. Those kind of things just kind of grabbed me, and I think it grabbed a lot of people because of the same things.
I mean, we're all parents, right? She's having a little trouble with her connection. We're all parents, And that's what really stood out here, is that these little boys, now 4 and 5 years old, just poof, managed to just disappear in the middle of the night. And, it was just a hard pill to swallow and tough to accept. And it still is tough to accept, So I want to just say, collectively, thank you from the other side, from New York. We're straight across the country. This case has always been near and dear to me, and it always will be. I will continue to work with Equusearch to help find Orrin and Orson West in Searing Classic. Summer Wells is still on my mind, and also we are trying to work with the family of Maya Miliete, Mary, Chris, and Richard. I am going to try to continue to reach out to them and see if we can do some drone searching for Maya Miliete. She's still missing, and she went just missing a month or so later after the boys. And she's again an adult. And we saw Mary Chris on Facebook and I think Instagram giving a crying plea. She was crying and saying, why is all the coverage happening for other people and not for my sister? And, it is clear and evident that the news controls the narrative. It's not about us. It's about what the news decides to put out and what's going to get them ratings and what's going to sell for them. And that's a sad thing. Roe Roe, I know you understand it because you've been dealing with them for so long. But, the question has come up with Gabby Petito is like, why is this a firestorm across not just the United States, but across the world?
Right.
The parents, her own father said, you, the media, you ask yourself that question. You hold the answers to it because we don't control how it gets out. You don't, Roe Roe, you certainly don't, because if you did, it would be on everybody's.
Oh, man. Every news channel.
Right. It would be
Exactly.
breaking. So the media handles that, and people are confused about what's the narrative, what's the take. Is it because, she's white, and is it because these were black boys, and because of, we can have that conversation, but where does it get us? It's the news that they need to be held accountable for those injustices, if in fact they exist.
Yes.
Not individual people, not the people like us and yourself and Jennifer that are out there just with boxing gloves on. We have boxing gloves on. We're fighting every day, for coverage, for answers. And that's what, I'd want done if, God forbid, it was my own son, or somebody in my family, So, again, 7:30, I have Red, White, and Bethune. She was the woman who made the video of Gabby Petito and the van that was parked on the side. She's going live at 7:30. So I want to segue on to Summer Wells. But I want to say thank you to Roe Roe for your friendship. I feel like I'm a part of your family, and I can't wait to get out to Bakersfield and see you guys. And I know not only Jen wants to see me, but a whole bunch of other people.
Yes.
And I also have Lena from the advertising, from Lamar Advertising. She wants to see me. I was hoping that she would take us all out to maybe a steak dinner after that.
Dinner be on me.
Yeah, no. We'll like I said, I will come to your home there. I'll make it easy for you guys, and I'd like to come and see you guys and give out a bunch of DutyRon hugs to the family there. So, and Jennifer, you're not going to be able to run away. You're not going to be able to run away from me because I'm going to get you.
Well, we could have it at my house. My brother, he cooked steaks, and Jennifer came through one day and ate, and so yeah. DutyRon, can you just let everybody know about the Equusearch real quick, like just give them a little update, or?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna let them know. Okay. So, Equusearch, through the help of Gene Robertson, Dave Rader, and also Tim Miller, who runs Equusearch. They did some drone searching for the boys in the past. I'm not going to go into the dates, but it was in the recent past, and they did some really great stuff for taking and narrowing off. Hello, hey, how are you?
That's my brother.
Hey, bro, it's Ron. How are you? Good to see you, pal. So Equusearch was able to. Can I have a sip of beer? Equusearch was able to cross off some of the spots where the boys perhaps went. Wow. But yeah, so that's what they were able to do. Thank Thank you for muting that. But Equusearch came out. They went to in Kern County and did some searching for the boys in the Bakersfield area. So I was happy that they were able to do that. We'll know more in the future about what the results of that is. But I'm just so happy and thrilled that they were able to do that, and we did it on the down low. Nobody knew about it. As a matter of fact, Roe and Jennifer didn't even know the dates because I wasn't able to tell them. So
Yeah. Well,
so,
it makes us have a little more hope that that somebody was out here that have the equipment and uh, that were searching for the boys besides the ones that's been. So it gives us a lot of hope.
yeah. Hope is important in these things because, as you know, as the days go by, it makes it just gets harder on the heart. It just makes the heart heavier. And there's the ups and downs. And I know Jennifer and your girl crew that supports you. They're there to pick you up when you keep getting yourself up and down. So thank God for the girls and that group that you guys have. I think you guys are a tremendous support system. And you need that. You need that.
Oh yeah, they are amazing. I mean, the work that they do behind the scenes. They're all going to be private investigators pretty soon. Because just what they learned over the time. And,
I'm ready to sign Jennifer up right now. She's a private investigator 101.
Right. I mean, they're amazing. So I just want to thank them as well. Thank you, ladies, if you're watching. I know you're watching. Thank you all, and thank you to your supporters again for helping keeping the billboards up. I mean, that means a lot. Everybody that's putting their time and just investing everything that they got. Time, finances, whatever. Coming together, making this happen. So thank y'all so much.
Yes. And someone asked Tweety US News says, question from Colorado, what's the wildlife situation in California City? Well, it's the desert. It's the Mojave Desert, and there is everything that you can imagine that the desert has, including snakes, mountain lions, and all different kinds of things of that nature. So there's a lot of obstacles there, but I feel, and I think Jen and Roe will agree with me, that we don't feel that the boys ever made it to California City. I think that they went missing from Bakersfield, which is a similar terrain. It's not quite as desolate as California City, but again, it is a difficult terrain to search.
Yes.
To say the least. And Roe Roe, you've been out there. I know that. So.
Oh yeah, and I also work out that way, so I know what it's like to be in the desert, just searching and working. It's tough.
Right. Yep. Hey, I want everybody to please go over to DutyRon.com where there's all the information about the boys. There is a ton of all of my videos. I've done probably over 50 videos on Orrin and Orson West and Searing Classic. But also Joe Murray wrote up some legislature to promote the resolution for Equusearch and RP search drones. Those are the drone. RP search is the guys who did the search for the boys these past few days. Wow. And the Oklahoma search and rescue, those are the dogs that are a part of Equusearch. So there's the resolution. I need everyone to go over and sign that, petition Congress for funding for this 501c3 Texas Equusearch and RP search. We're looking for $2.5 million from Congress. It's a $13 trillion package. So that $2.5 million sounds like a lot, but it's not when it comes to the huge. And that money will go to not just looking for our boys, but looking for all missing across the United States. So it's important that everybody goes to DutyRon.com, looks up that resolution, and it takes 2 seconds to sign it. You don't have to do it. Yeah. I know you did it, Ro. I know, Jen, you shared it. All of the people in Bakersfield is signing the crap out of that thing. So I appreciate that. Again, folks, get behind these boys. When I talk about these cases, come on and support them. Continue to support this family in any way that you can. Thank you to so many generous donors that donate towards the digital billboards. I appreciate you guys and your generosity. You ladies and gents are freaking awesome. It reinstates my faith in humanity when I see this. And I thank you for reaching into your pocket and sending fundage that's needed to keep these boys' faces out there and their names alive. So, Jen, any parting words for the crew, Jen? I love to do this to her. Can you even hear us, Jennifer?
I want to thank Texas Equusearch and thank you, Joe Murray, for getting that petition out there. I hope everybody goes and signs it. I mean, it literally, like Ron says, it takes a couple of seconds. It's not a big deal. You can choose to make a $9 donation and it'll like spread even further if you want to. You don't have to do that. So it's completely free as a, taxpayer. So please go on there. It's super important. We need Equusearch to go further and wider to help us with this. They're amazing.
Yes.
Right. Yes, I agree. Midwest Equusearch is the Ohio chapter. They're the ones who were involved in the search, and Equusearch. Actually, Tim Miller and his folks in Texas and Midwest Equusearch was involved in this search. I want to say something else too, quickly. There's a lot of people who have been searching for the boys, Sincere and Classic, Orrin and Orson West. There's way too many for me to mention, but I'm going to say that many folks have put out on YouTube videos about them, some in a positive way, some in not such a positive way, but they ultimately have good intentions. And I want to say thank you to the boots on the ground people that are kicking dirt around and going out. A.B. Watchman, Crenshaw. There's so many to mention, and I'm going to forget names. But, Roe Roe thanks them up and down on her Facebook page, left and right. I'm here just doing my part, and I want to just say that everybody is doing it together collectively as a team. And when you have unity in numbers, you get things done.
Exactly.
When you have people fighting amongst each other and there's problems, it helps to get nothing done. So I really feel that it's important that we have, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes.
And that couldn't be any more appropriate. And that noise and whatever banging was so appropriate. Thank whoever just made that thing fall, because it was exactly perfect timing for what I just said. I want to wrap it up with you guys because I got a 15 minutes before showtime with Red, White, and Bethune. I encourage everyone, if some of my mods could put Red, White, and Bethune's channel in this chat, I want all of these 2,000 people to run over to Red, White, and Bethune in 15 minutes. But I need to talk about Summer Wells. So, guys, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Roe Roe.
Thank you.
Give Mom a hug for me. Jen, I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
I definitely will. Okay.
Bye, lady.
Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right. That was great, guys. I really, really love those two. They are unbelievable and they're doing great work. So again, Orrin and Orson West, missing since December 21st. It's California City, Bakersfield. That is a case that I've been covering for a long time. Go over to my playlist and check that out. We're on to now the Summer Wells case. Summer Wells missing, reported missing by her family from the family home, June 15th of 2021. A case that's frustrating, that again has caused so much problems and disdain and fighting and conversations from Don Wells and Candace. So much speculation, so much heartache. A 5-year-old little girl goes missing from their property. It sounds so similar to Orrin and Orson West. She was at her property. The mother saw her and then went inside. She came back out and she was gone. This is what Candace said. Little Summer Wells was inside playing in the basement. She told the boys to look after your sister. And then all of a sudden, I go out, I go to grandma, which is right there, 20 feet away. I come back and she's gone. A lot of bullshit, a lot of hogwash coming out of them. And let me tell you, that case is far from being over. It's far from being a cold case. And I got to tell you, it is another one that really gives me, it makes me angry, because these folks, again, the parents are responsible for your daughter's well-being. And if that, in fact, was proven, it can be proven that they were not responsible for their daughter's well-being, then they should be held accountable for it. Somebody knows something. Summer Wells, let's get this going. so I can get you guys up to speed on the Summer Wells case. Of course, DutyRon is challenged when it comes to media. I'm always challenged when it comes to media. But here we go. This is the Summer Wells case. If we can get it to play. I think it's going now. Thank you, Katrina, for the super chat.
Today marks 3 months since 5-year-old Summer Wells went missing in Hawkins County. So far, TBI has received more than 12,000 tips. None of them, however, have led to the little girl. Summer was last seen outside of her home in the Beach Creek community. Now, remember, rough terrain in this area makes searching difficult for crews on the ground, especially in the early days of her disappearance. Police say, though, that this is not a cold case. They're still actively looking into where she could be. TBI says they're still looking for that maroon Toyota Tacoma truck that was reported in the area around the time of Summer's disappearance. TBI says those with credible information.
I want to just show you quickly. Hopefully I can back this up a little bit.
Those with credible disappearance.
This is
Summer's
Grandma.
The time
Hold on.
area
Let me back
that
this
was
up.
reporting for that maroon, looking into where she could be.
All right, sorry about that. So this is the main house right here, right? You see the little mini bike that we saw the boys riding around on. That's the roof. It's all kind of patched up, and Don does some of his work to the home. But I want to show you the distance between the front door, or the door where Summer allegedly went in, and Grandma Candy's home, her mobile home, or whatever you want to call that, little camper or whatever, mobile home. It's 20 feet away.
TBI says they're still looking for that maroon toy truck that was reported in.
So here's the big house right under the sign where it says 3 months missing. This is the main house, the one with the dish on top. And right over this canvas that's over the house, this little awning or whatever you want to call it, she allegedly went inside. Little Summer went inside that area where the white awning is. And then Candace went here to the camper. That's the front door to Grandma's camper. And then came back. And then she was gone. She was gone. This is what she said. Another report she said is, I went for a walk. But she said that she didn't like to walk because of the snakes and the animals in that area. So the story doesn't jive. If it, again, we heard on a very, very high profile case, the OJ case, if the glove doesn't fit, we must acquit. Well, the glove doesn't fit in this particular scenario, because if you leave from where this little 3-month-old, it says 3 months since Summer, if you leave underneath that sign where that little awning is and walk over here to where this little doorway is, and then you come moseying back, and all of a sudden your daughter, poof, just vanishes out of thin air. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense.
In the area around the time of Summer's disappearance. TBI says those with credible information are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
So that's a look at the overview of the house. That's an actual good overview. Again, Midwest Equusearch is on this case. They've been back to search a total of 3 times at this location. Equusearch Midwest, Dave Rader, Twyla Cisco, the whole crew. We, even had drone searches at this location. We've done a lot of work, and there's a lot of work to still do. So this is some of the great work that Equusearch Midwest does, and I implore you, I beg you to go over to Midwest Equusearch's website. There it is, www.equusearchmidwest.org, and volunteer your time and donate directly to Midwest Equusearch. There's their PayPal that is within that equusearchmidwest.org's website. They are doing God's work. And here's Brian's organization for the search and rescue canine. It's the Oklahoma CM Search and Rescue, OklahomaMSAR.org. Go on over there and donate to these folks. They're doing God's work. These are great, great people, and I encourage you to go on over. again, a frustrating case to say the least. I feel that the Hawkins County Sheriff has their hands full. We want answers, and they need to give them. They need to give answers on what happened to Summer Wells, because I'm not comfortable with the answers that we got from the mom and dad. And I don't think any of you should be comfortable with the answers that you got from these folks. And again, I want to thank everyone for the super chat. Is there a way to sign the petition if you're from the UK? Joe Murray, can you take that question if there's a way? Okay, here it is. Yes, if you're outside the US and you're having trouble accessing the petition, please email me at joe@jmurray-law.com, and I will direct send it to you. So there it is. For the folks outside, I'll leave that up for a minute. I am going to get Red, White, and Bethune's channel on.
Today marks 3 months.
Hold on. I'm going to get Red, White, and Bethune's channel up so we can go over and raid them in a few minutes. Let me set it up. Hold on. Where is she? Red, White, and Bethune. There they are. All right. So she has a scheduled live stream. It's important that some of you folks understand this. They're going to be going live in 15 minutes, in less than 15 minutes. It's 7:24. They're going to be going live in about 5 minutes. So here's their Sunday Night Live. Let me click on it and let me show you. My reminder is already set. So let's add it to the stream. I'm going to go full screen. So here's Red, White, and Bethune. They have chats going on in there right now. And I want everybody, when we end this live stream, to head on over there and go in there and just say, DutyRon raid. DutyRon, RAID. So I'm going to type it in the chat there. Can I type it in the chat? DutyRon raid. So yeah, that's what I want you guys to type in the chat when you go on over there. See, I just put it there. It's in orange. It says DutyRon raid. So if some of you guys can come on over to Red, White, and Bethune, she's going to be live in 4 minutes. So I am going to come back here and talk to you guys. By a show of hands, who enjoys multiple cases that I cover? This is the first time I did a live stream where I covered Gabby Petito, I covered Orrin and Orson West, and Summer Wells. 3 missing person cases in one live stream. We're just about an hour, just a little bit over an hour. Let me know in the chat by putting a 1 if you like it. Put a number 2 if you want it to just be specific to one case. Now, this could be a 50-50 right here. Let me know. I'm going to look at the chat right now. Go ahead. Let me hear it. We got almost 2,000 people watching. Who likes 1? Is all 3 a multitude of cases? Number 2, if you want a pinpoint case. Fuzzy Doxy's the first one. She's the first number 2. There we are. Fuzzy Doxy. She's putting in her justice for all, says Divine. I like that. Thank you. Hillary Collins from over in Ireland. Thank you. Jennifer Knoble says number 1. She likes a multitude of cases covered. Jennifer N. Moonchild, you can't have 1 and 2. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This is my Texas Equusearch hat. Just so you know, this is my Texas Equusearch hat. I wear this wherever I go. And I actually wore this hat to Gabby Petito's funeral. And here's the Lost is Not Alone wristband. So I wear that as well. Oh, let me get this. I got an extra one here. Oh, upside down. Come on, camera. So if you want to purchase these are available for a fundraiser, $10 each. Go over to DutyRon.com. You can purchase these and support Equusearch Midwest. It's a big thing, and it's very important to support them. Star Empress says, I just want a pinpointed live stream, for crying out loud, DutyRon. Billy says 1. Hello from South Wales, likes number 1. Okay, 1 and 2, depending on the news. Listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's either number 1 or number 2. You either like 1 or 2. Angela says, I want one, DutyRon. Okay, so Angela likes it all. So I think the majority of everybody likes all. And look at the DutyRon raid. Look at the raid happening in here. Look at this. Look at this. We're showering them with love. Oh, I love it. Wow. Holy cow. Keep lighting that up in orange with DutyRon. Whoa. If you guys can, stay here, though. Let's stay here until the very end, and then we'll end it, and we'll go straight over. We'll raid them in a minute and 40 seconds. So it's a minute and 40 seconds. All right, it's a lot of number twos are coming in, too. Oh, yeah, there's the countdown. All right, let's end this live stream, and everybody head on over there. I'm already in there, for crying out loud. So as I like to end all of these, let me say this. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat and all victims of crime across the globe and their families, but especially Summer Wells, Gabby Petito, and Orrin and Orson West's family. They need us now more than ever, and all of the missing out there. So go on over to Red, White, and Bethune and hit them up with a DutyRon raid. They're going to be live in less than 40 seconds. So that's the countdown clock to their live. I'll keep it on here until they go live. Hit it up, light it up with a DutyRon raid, and let's give them 1,000 people and everyone subscribe. Look at that. Look at that work. You guys are awesome. DutyRon raid. Bam. Look at me now, Mom. No hands. I want these guys to be flooded with there's 285 watching now. Let's get that up to a 2,085. Let's rock and roll with them with a DutyRon raid. I love it. All right, guys, let's go and support them. Have a good show, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much.